Am I recording? Hope so. What's going on? It's Ethan here, and as you can see, I remodeled my room. I've been busting my ass for the past few days, doing this room. I finally have a desk, and well, this is just for now. A desk. I finally have a desk. I have a new bed. I have a new chair, and I just want to do a full-on new studio tour. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I've actually decided to first start out outside the room before we actually go in, just so I show you the huge thing. So check this out. Look at that. Maybe a few lag spikes. There's some stuff over here that needs to be good. These are some clothes and other stuff. Over there is just boxes and stuff, and totes. That's some other stuff in there. So here's my comfortable new bed. I got this a few days ago. We ordered it a few days ago, and it is so comfortable. Ooh, it's all memory foam, and it's so comfortable, man. Like, wow. Oh dear. Okay, so we got a trash bag. This is temporary. This big box is temporary. This is being full of my VHS tapes. I know y'all can't really see it that well. It's while I'm filming it. This said, like, what time is it? Oh, it's 8 at night. So here's my TV, my nice 32-inch Magnavox TV with my channel on it. Pretty good, pretty cool. My microphone. Here's my microphone. This is my blue Snowball. This is my mic. Pop filter's getting weak. I'm gonna probably swap that in for a new one. Here's my headphones. This is the Razer Kraken Pro. It's pretty neat. I have like my N64 controller. I have this controller adapter that I tested, and it's I don't know if it's the controller's fault or this fault, but the analog stick is just like kind of poop. Here's my laptop. If y'all don't know my laptop, I'm currently in the editing this very same video that you're watching. So this has a 2.6 GHz Core i7. It has 16 gigs of autofocus. There we go. DDR4, 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 960M. It's a nice 1080p display, really nice. I have a 500 gig M.2 SSD, some Samsung Evo or whatever. And I also have a 1 terabyte hard drive in here. So over here with all the discs, and I have an SNES cartridge. Here is my main capture card, but I am probably gonna get a new one. So here is my this is the Razer Ripsaw. This is basically my main capture card. I say, I don't like want to get a new one. I have this weird issue with my capture card where, hang on, let me bring up XSplit, and I'm gonna like turn on my Xbox because that's what it's connected to. I have this weird console thing sandwich or whatever. So we have a VCR. This is a Quasar VHS VCR. Original Xbox. We have a PS4 and a PS3 Super Slim. The issue I have with doing stuff like this on the Razer Ripsaw is just because this. I'm moving. The HDMI port is loose, or something. And what I have it connecting, I have Xbox hooked up via component, and I have this HDMI thing that goes to here. But the problem is just the HDMI port is so freaking loose that colors might go off everywhere and stuff like that, and it just drives me crazy, and that's why I need to get a new one. To record PS3 and PS4, I use this HDMI splitter. One end goes to PS3, PS4. Actually, I'm using this on the little component HDMI converter. This HDMI cable goes into the input, and then one end to the input of this, and the other end to my PS3 or PS4. one of the cables goes into the capture card, and the other goes to my TV, but I have my computer hooked up to my TV at the moment. So that's what I use to record my main consoles. This is my XP gaming PC. This is the Dell XPS 400. It's my, this has a, I'm trying to think. I believe it has a 3.8 gigahertz Pentium D, 2 gigs of RAM, like a ATI Radeon X600 in there. I don't know anything else. But I got this from a nice lady at my school. So thank you, whoever. To record this, if you go into my streams, and sometimes I might have an XP computer stream, to record this, I hook a VGA cable up into this Atlona AT-HD 500 VGA. It's a HDMI scaler. Has some pretty nice options, and this is perfect if you want to record the BIOS, and also if you have a capture card that does not support the PC resolutions, like 800 by 600 or 1024 by 768, because some capture cards will say, "Oh, it's out of range. I don't like that resolution" or something. So it has HDMI output, VGA, 3.5mm power, some menu buttons, optical out, and then also a 3.5mm audio out. I also use this to record my Dreamcast. So one end goes into the splitter, one goes to the capture card, the other goes to my TV. Alright? So that's what I really use for my main systems. My PS3, PS4, all through HDMI. I technically have the Xbox through HDMI, but that's just converted. It's just why I got not use just built-in component in the Razer Ripsaw is just because the quality is downright ass. It's so terrible that it's so blurry, it's too gray, it's too light. I just like it with HDMI. The HDMI quality is so much better. If y'all are wondering how I record this PC without lag, I use this, and also use this to record Dreamcast too. So that's it. This is pretty much my desk. I also use, let's see if it's in this pile. Okay, so I use also this to record. This is mainly for VHS stuff. Sometimes I might use this little scaler here. It scales composite to HDMI to 720p or 1080p. And that's how I mainly get my VHS captures at 60 frames a second. The problem, though, is that this has a weird glitch where sometimes it'll show, like, some weird image thing and from, like, a split second, and it kind of, like, puts it off. It kind of makes it, puts it off. It's so weird. So one HDMI cable, I use the splitter too. One end from the splitter to that, and then one end to the capture card, the other to my TV. The problem, why not use my Razer Ripsaw for that? It's because my Razer Ripsaw has frame drops. And no, it's not actually that. It's the Elgato too, but it only happens if I use XSplit or OBS. I don't know what the deal is. I've tried, reinstalling the drivers, reinstalling XSplit and OBS, unplugging, plugging everything back in, rebooting. I tried everything, and it doesn't do anything. I don't know if it's the capture card or just my computer or what, but I don't know what the deal is. It kind of drives me insane, to be honest. Okay, now a question I get a lot is, how do I record logos in 60 frames per second, albeit from VHS or DVD or something like that? Well, for DVD, I haven't seen really a logo on DVD that's really in 60 frames per second, unless it's I don't know, a TV show or something, like a TV show that's actually in 60 frames per second, or Fields, technically, because it's actually 480i. And 60i is basically 30 frames a second. So how do I get it to make it more smooth? I'll demonstrate using my Elgato Game Capture HD and my VCR and a tape, which is the Best of America's Funniest Home Videos, which is a tape that was released about 1990 from CBS Fox Video and ABC Capital Cities or whatever, something like that. So right now the thing's connected through composite, and if you're using the Elgato Game Capture HD and you have the little adapter that comes with it, so you can use component sources, you plug the yellow cable into the red port. All right. So here's what I do here. So I'm gonna go ahead and press play on the tape. There's gonna be a few seconds of delay because of stuff. So it's gonna do that, and then once the video signal starts up, I'm gonna go press record. So I'm just gonna let that all record. Alright, so that's done. Alright, let's go ahead and stop recording. And let's go ahead and stop the tape before Vindabona sues me. So now I can just go ahead and close that out. So now, how do I make it in 60 frames a second? Well, I use it through software, and personally, I use an older version of Handbrake. It's not the latest. It's just because the latest version doesn't really like work the way I want it to. So I have this preset that makes it that deinterlaces 480i to 480p in 60 frames a second. So it has this filters here, 15:(-1:(-1:1) in the deinterlace. In the custom deinterlace, it'll be 15 -1 -1 and 1. So that's the profile. If y'all want it, I can link y'all into the description. But remember, it'll only work on version 0.10.5.0. So you're gonna need to go and get that. So what I'm gonna do is import the thing. I for some reason have it labeled so wrong, just because I recorded the Fox commercials y'all just seen the other day. So when I have this, I'm just going to drag this into Handbrake, and then I'll just you know, unless it's commercials, I just keep them in the same folder. I mean, I just keep the output file in the same folder the raw file is, and just because I don't know, commercials just makes it a little bit more easier to actually easily access. So let's go ahead and click start. Alright, it's done. So as the output file right here, and I'll show you around here. Let me skip to the part. And as you can see, the CBS Fox video logo is in 60 frames a second. And also the ABC Capital Cities, ABC Video Empires thing is also in 60 FPS. And see, there's AFV in 60 FPS. So that's how I do VHS logos in 60 frames per second. If I want to do TV stuff off the TV, I have to be downstairs where a cable box is, just because I don't have a cable box in my room, and I use pretty much the same thing. I use that HDMI splitter, one end in the input, one end goes to the input, the other to the cable box, and then one HDMI cable goes to the capture card, the other to the TV. Okay. The issue with my the audio, not the audio, but the cable box downstairs is that the Elgato does not support Dolby Digital Audio, because I don't know. So I have to use the stereo 3.5, not 3.5, the RCA red and white jacks, and I have those plugged into the back, and then also plugged into the little adapter that the Elgato comes with for component. I just plug those into the audio sources. So that's how I record the TV stuff. I don't really use the website. It has some really bad issues with quality, and also it's not even in full screen. So I don't know what the deal is that. But yeah, that's pretty much how I record logos in 60 FPS. But how do I rip DVDs in 60 FPS? I just pretty much use the same thing. I just source, and then there would be like a DVD here. I'd click that, and then use this same preset to deinterlace it to 60 frames per second if it is in 60 FPS. I have an example here. If I use my DVD rips, let's see here. So there's I'll just show you a little thing that I recorded. This is from the Man Show, a Man Show DVD. This is one of the special features here, and as you can see, it's a nice smooth 60. Oh yeah, babies. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's nice smooth 60 frames per second. So that's how I pretty much rip DVDs. So that's pretty much my capture setup. How do I stream? I use either XSplit or OBS. It just depends on what I'm feeling, and stuff like that. So if there's anything wrong with OBS, I'll just switch to XSplit. I'll just use XSplit, and then if I have anything wrong with XSplit, I'll use OBS. The issue with OBS with my Razer Ripsaw is that it doesn't automatically switch resolutions. This is pretty crucial if you're playing on original Xbox or PS3, where it says something like, when it constantly switches resolutions. If like a PS3, your game's in 720p and your menu is set to 1080p, your little XMB, it's gonna say signal out of range. You have to manually change the resolution. It's kind of tedious, to be honest. XSplit, it automatically does that on the fly, and it's not a hassle for me. So if I use original Xbox or PS3, I just use XSplit to record that. PS4, I always set it to 1080p, so I usually use OBS with PS4 just because it doesn't switch resolutions every time a game launches. It kind of drives me crazy when stuff like that happens. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my capture setup. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's finish this video, shall we? Okay, time to give some people some shoutouts. I would like to give some shoutouts to some people I think are pretty cool, pretty chill dudes. Think y'all should check out. First up, Steven Cesar, aka XX SC Media Works. He does some pretty cool lists, top 10 lists. He's been revealed the entire series of Samurai Jack, the revival or whatever. He also, he does like top 10 lists, like worst logos of the decade, scary logos, annoying logos, and like public television logos or such. And he's a pretty chill dude. He also does like rise and falls with like certain companies or whatever. He does like some weird rants about like stuff that makes him get triggered or something, and stuff like that. So you check him out. Check him out. Next shout out I want to give is Originals Boy 11. He does some pretty cool logo captures, and another cool logo capturer is Maxim Antenisov. He does some pretty cool logo captures and other stuff like that. So check him out too. Another one, check out my friend Ivan, Zen Ivan. He does some pretty cool speed runs. He also streams pretty regularly on Twitch. Oh, and also, speaking of streaming, check out my gaming channel. I stream regularly pretty much there. And also stream on Twitch at the same time. So if y'all prefer Twitch over YouTube, you can go ahead. You can also watch there. Follow and subscribe so you can be notified over when I'm streaming. And like click the bell or something when I'm streaming, so click the bell when you subscribe so you can be notified when I'm streaming. I can't speak at all today, Jesus Christ. But yeah, just subscribe and follow my Twitch if y'all wanna be notified while I'm streaming. Another one I want to give a shout out to is my friend Dylan, aka Spooky, aka Nanners, aka Fweek, aka Dipper. He does some pretty cool. Cool videos, and he also all my stream every once in a while. He's a pretty cool friend of mine, and you should really check out his channel. He hasn't uploaded as much as he used to, but yeah, I guess. Another person I want you guys to check out is the Silver Gunner of Logos, aka Closing Logos HD. It's basically Closing Logos HD, but the first L is a capital I, and he does some pretty funny logo parodies, and you should really check the guy out. He's pretty chill, chill. He's pretty good at doing some funny parodies and stuff. And I know people accuse him of being a copycat. He's not. It's a freaking parody. It's a joke channel or whatever. He's like Silva Gunna, or of logos or whatever. Oh yeah, also check out LC Muscles 28. My friend Lucas. He does Every week he does a podcast called the Pain and Game Podcast with some other people I know. Shane, which is Dragon LXS, and my friend Jerome Latimer, Romy. It's pretty funny on the Pain and Game Podcast. It's pretty lit, to be honest. So you should go check him out. Also, you should subscribe to Noah. I know I have him on the computer with all these cuts and whatever. He does some pretty entertaining logo lists, and he also does some pretty entertaining logo captures, even though they're almost the exact same as any other logo capture, to be honest. He also has like some other channel, which is like weird YouTube poopish kind of channel. It's pretty weird, to be honest. But you should check him out nonetheless. Also, check out Gary Newkirk, NG2C Network. He does some pretty entertaining gameplays. Everything I've said everything is entertaining. But he has some pretty good gameplays, and he also has friends with Romy. And you know, I love to see him rage about other stuff, and you know, have an orgasm about Asian babes and stuff like that. So check him out. I think that's really it. That's all the shoutouts I have for right now. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoy the new studio. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Talk to you later.